Welcome back. It has been quite a long time and probably longer than it should have been, but we're back, we're ready to go, and I have something new for all of you. Now this is a new challenge that I'm going to be embarking on, and I'm briefly calling it for now, and I'm probably going to stick with it. It's called From Mirror to Battlesphere, and it's essentially starting from absolutely nothing and working my way up through the ranks on Magic the Gathering Arena to get up to the ranked mythic level. Now there are some rules and stipulations that I have to go over. So, as I said earlier, the goal is trying to get into Ranked Mythic by starting with absolutely nothing, except completing the color challenge and the packs associated with essentially logging into the game. So the first rule is that all cards that I use to build decks must come from physical Magic products. Now there are some stipulations with this, like Pioneer Masters through the omenpaths and stuff like that. Those are completely fine. It's just the packs that are non-physical or like arena specific, like alchemy, are not okay. I can't use those, so they must come from physical products that exist in the real world. The second rule is I may open alchemy packs, but I cannot use alchemy cards. The alchemy cards are absolutely busted, and it wouldn't be very fun just to use those absolute powerhouses, and we have to kind of switch it up a little bit and just stick with the physical products as well, because there is physical products that come in the alchemy packs, so I'd like to use those if I can, just to add to my collection. Number 3, I'm not allowed to spend actual money on the game, because that would just defeat the entire purpose of the challenge. Rule number 4, I cannot enter challenges where I get specific cards added to my collection. So the regular set pass is allowed, or if the challenge gives me only coins / gems / packs, but any challenge that gives me direct cards, I cannot do. Number 5, I cannot use wildcards unless I meet specific criteria, and you'll see this criteria in the future. Number 6, I am allowed to purchase items from the daily deals section of the store. Most of the time it's just packs and or cosmetics, so it really doesn't matter. And number 7, I can change the colors of the decks that I make at will unless a specific criteria is met. Now moving on to these criterias, it's essentially how many games I've win / lost in a row. And so if I win 3 games in a row, I can craft 1 wild card from any pack set. So anything that exists on Arena that also exists in real life, I can use a wild card to make it. If I lose 3 in a row, I have to change the colors of the deck, and I can't go back and forth between colors because that wouldn't be very fun, and I can't just purposely lose 3 more to go back to the old deck I was running. I have to wait at least 2 cycles of different decks before I go back to the same one if I lose multiple in a row. And if I win 5 in a row, I can craft 4 wild cards from any physical products, and I can split up the sets if I want, but essentially allows me to get a wild card set as I would in real life. And finally, if I lose 5 in a row, I have to change formats. So I'm starting out with Historic because it'd be a little bit easier to get higher in Mythic, but if I lose 5 in a row, I have to go to something like Standard. But that's all the rules. It's essentially starting from nothing, so let's just get right in and open some packs. So we got quite a few of them just from the free packs that they give you, so we're just going to open through the omenpaths first. I should have pressed the open all button. We can just go through that actually. So yeah, these are all the cards that we got, so let's open all of the Through the Omenpaths packs, and yeah, these are okay. We'll definitely look at them later to see what we're going to be running. The main strategy I think I'm going to be focusing on is trying to go auras, because auras, especially the Boros auras, have a ton of cards that are within packs, and it can be extremely competitive, and I think that'll allow us to grow pretty quickly. We do need quite a bit of cards from it, but it won't be that difficult to get there. So we're getting some pretty good stuff out of the Edge of Eternity set, the Alchemy one. Although we can't use the Alchemy specific cards, we can still use the ones that are non-Alchemy. So we're going to open all the Final Fantasy. This one's actually a really good set for us to have, especially starting out, because it gives us some really good cards to start off with. I keep forgetting to press the open all button, but we're also getting a ton of wild cards from these two, which will be nice just to have in the future when we can win games in a row. So we're going to open the remaining ones of these. Yep, that's fine. Also, to note, we cannot open like mythic packs because that forces our way to get cards. We just have to do the regular packs, and if we need a mythic, we just have to hope to get it. So we're going to open the rest of the Tarkir Alchemy ones. That's fine. We're going to throw in the rest of the Aether Drift, one of the worst sets that's definitely come out this year. None of these cards are very good, though it won't be terrible to start off with because there is a few decent ones that we could run. Open all the Alchemy Aether Drift ones, but half of them we can't even run. None of those rares or mythics we can run, which is kind of sad. Open the Pioneer Masters. Those do have quite a bit of good cards we could run. Those are pretty good. Open Foundations. This is perhaps the most important step for starting out because it just gives us so much. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of staples. We're going to reveal all of them at once. That is really nice right there. We're going to open all of the Duskmourn. Getting a pretty good start on the rares and mythics for wildcards, which will be nice if we win in the future. I'm going to reveal all those. Bloom Burrow is actually a really good set, especially for starting out with us. Duskmourn is perhaps the best one, just because of the amount of staples that we need for our auras. There's so many in there. Thunder Junction is also pretty good. Karlov Manor doesn't really apply. There's not very many good things to start off with. It wasn't a super great set. But yeah, we'll open all of these. And we also have to use in-game money, if I made that unclear. We have to use the in-game coins and the in-game gems to be able to open and buy more packs. So we pretty much have to win games and meet the daily challenges in order to get more cards. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, and we're going to be having to do this pretty much every day. So let's see what's going to happen from there. Ooh, an Atrax is nice. Not for really what we're going, but we'll take it in the future. Why not? We might use it sometime. Alright, we got all of those. Those are pretty good as well. Open the Phyrexia. That set was also pretty good. Kind of underwhelming, but nonetheless. Ooh, the Token Doubler. That's pretty nice. And a ton of the Brothers War Alchemy packs. Let's open all those. Whoa. Reveal all of the mythics. It's just a ton of cards. There we go. Not bad. And that's it. So now, because we have the color challenges and the decks associated with them, we can start making one that can hopefully let us climb a little bit. But that's all the rules. Let's get on to the deck building. Alright, so here's the deck that we're rocking with. It's not a lot, but from the stuff that we got from the packs, we're going to just be running some Gruul aggro. We're just going to be trying to help and get some wins under our belt so we can hopefully meet some of those challenges. We can use our plentiful wild cards and just try and get up a little bit more quickly. I think this deck should be able to do it. I mean, we have some just pretty much staples in Gruul aggro like Helena and Elena, and then we also have some removal like Shock and stuff, so I think it should be pretty good. We also have a ton of mana ramp, and I think we'll be able to come away with at least one win today, so we don't have to have any punishments. So yeah, let's just jump right into the games. Let's hope we can actually win something, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, here we go. We got the first game of the series right here, and our hand is already looking terrible, so we're not going to be giving that. Okay, that's quite a bit better. So we're going to be sticking with that. We do have some easy draw and a little bit of protection. We can get rid of one of the forests because we do have mana ramp, so we should be okay. Let's see how we can do. I'm hoping we can actually get some wins today. At least one. This episode is definitely going to be a bit of a trial run, but we should be able to hopefully work some things out in the future. We're going to throw down a mountain and just pass the turn after that. Let's see what our opponent does. Plays a Plains, Drannith Stinger, and then passes the turn. Alright, we're going to draw Forest. We're going to play our Elysian Caryatid and pass the turn. Let's see what he ends up playing. Alright, plays a Mountain into a Drannith Stinger. Okay. So we're going to roll with the Mountain into the Jolene. And we'll just keep those in case he does have removal. We're not going to swing in. And then if anything, we can just get a draw. Plays a Plains into a Drannith Healer. Oh no. Well, it's just a bunch of Dranniths. Memory Leak. Alright, so it's a ton of cycling. He's going to do some damage to me. That's fine. And then he gains a life. Cycles. Goes to attackers. I don't think he'll swing in. I doubt it. Oh, he does. We're going to bait that out using the Snakeskin Veil. We're going to boost it. We're going to give the Jolene the +1/+1 counter. We're going to block the Stinger. And that also removes the threat of us losing a ton of life. And we just drew a Burn Bright. So we're going to be laying that down. And then we're just going to cycle draw here real quick. We'll just give the Jolene haste. Why not? Draw a Mossborn Hydra. We do like to see that. We're going to swing in with a 3/1 and a 2/2. If he does block, it'll probably be the Caryatid.
The Jolene, potentially. Oh, nothing. Going down to 11. We got a treasure for next turn. Looking good here. I will take a land with the Mossborn Hydra. Alright, Flourishing Fox. This is like old Ikoria cycling. Is this... I mean, that's exactly what it is. Wow, okay. Alright, so Flourishing Fox, Drannith Healer, yep, does all that stuff. Let's see what else he gets. Nothing? Alright, just another Psycho, go for blood. Yeah, that's fine. He boosts the Flourishing Fox a little more. Drannith Healer gains him a life, so he's up to 13. But with our Jolene, that's really nothing we can't handle. Let's see what our opponent does. He swings it with the 2-2. I mean, yeah, we are wide open. We draw a land. Perfect. We're going to play the Mossborn Hydra. And then we're going to play the Mountain. We're going to double the ++1 counters. We can sack the treasure. I think we're sitting well with the Jolene, so I think we're just going to leave it. Let's see what our opponent ends up doing. Probably not a ton. I doubt that he can actually do anything here. Because he is pretty limited and he has not been doing anything. He's been cycling a ton, but there's been nothing coming out of it. Anything? Alright, so another Memory Leak being cycled. Yep, that's fine. Boosts the Fox. Alright, starting development. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Oh, and by the way, another one of the rules is we can't just switch back and forth between decks, because that would also just kind of ruin the challenge in between games. So in an episode, we have to stick with the same deck. So we can't really add or subtract anything onto it until all the games have finished. So what we got is what we got, and we can't do anything after that. So he's up to 16 life now. That isn't super fun for us to deal with, but it's definitely not impossible. We could kill it if he does decide to swing in with the Jolene. We could sacrifice the treasure. So we might end up doing that just to kind of see if we can bait him out on it. Go to attackers. Come on, swing in. Nothing. Okay. So next turn, I think I'm going to also swing in to try and bait him out. It ends up... nothing that we draw is going to be bad. Everything's going to be advantage, because even if we get a land, we can double the Mossborn Hydra counters. But it ends up... what are our opponents going to do? Nothing? Okay, great. Well, never mind. I think I spoke too soon. We got a Dragon Sniper. But either way, I think we are in the clear here. He's just constantly cycling, and he's doing nothing with it. You have like a Mana Tithe or something? Or are you just going to cycle? He could just cycle. I don't think we'll actually swing in then, because he definitely has something that he can just cycle, and then our Jolene is toast. So we're not going to swing in. We're just going to pass the turn. We have plenty of mana to work with. Does he cycle during his end step? I would assume so, just to... yeah, okay. So he boosts the Fox, gets another life, goes back up to 17. We are tied for life despite the damage that we did earlier. We did 10 damage to him, and he's gained almost all of it back. Alright, so he pings us for 1 with the Braided Bluffs. That's fine. Gonna do anything else? Come on. Come over here. Nothing. Nothing at all. Come on, it's okay. You can hit me. The Dragon Sniper will deal with that. It's 1-1. Okay. Well, he can get some advantage now with some Swarm through the Valiant Rescuer. That's fine. The Flourishing Fox gets boosted. But as long as we have this presence out here, he's not going to be coming through anytime soon. We really want to see more land or a Helena and Elena. Oh, wow. Well, speak of the devil. Perfect. So we're going to do that. We're going to throw it on We could do the Jolene. We could also do the Sniper to make this thing huge. We might as well just do that. We're not going to swing in, and we'll just pass the turn. So the Sniper is going to become big if he doesn't do anything to it. Yeah, we'll take another damage. It's not like we have anything else that we can do against it. Oh, we could pop the Rescuer. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can. So if he does cycle on the stack... Ow. That's not fun. Okay, we're going to pop the Rescuer. Yeah, that's fine. I forgot Zenith Flare existed. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done it after the Flare. Okay, so he's up to 29. We are down to 4. We are not in a good situation right now. We draw Ashroot, Animist. Yikes. This is not looking good here. We're going to throw it on the Sniper. We're going to see if we can do anything here. We're going to swing in with a 5-3. Actually, just the 5-5. We'll make a treasure. And we're going to blow up the 1-1. So he has to lose something here. So there goes that. So now he either blocks with the Fox or the Healer, or he just takes it simply. Yep. Alright. It does have Vigilance, though, which is really nice. Did he top deck another Flare? Because if he did, we're done. Well, that's a great way to start off game 1. So we're starting off with a loss. It's not looking super great for us. We're going to move on to game 2. Here we go with game 2. Our hand is looking actually somewhat promising, so we'll keep it here. I'm afraid that we're going to go against like an absolute powerhouse of a deck that's just trying to climb the ranks a little bit, like us, but we don't have a powerhouse quite yet. And the Shine Shadow Snarl is not looking the best for us with the alt lands, so we might be screwed on this one as well. And if we lose 3, we're going to have to switch up the color of the decks, which I guess early on isn't that big of a negative, but definitely late game, it's not going to be fun. Okay, so it's Aura and Equipment. So I guess we're just going to pop that right now because we do not want to deal with that at all. And that card is kind of broken for us to go against because we do not have much removal and or responses. We're going to bring it down to 19. The less life, the better in Gruul aggro. Looking at the Caryatid. Okay, Dire Moon. Okay, so that kind of reassures me a little bit. We're going to play the Mossborn Hydra here, if it'll let us play it. There we go. And then we're going to throw down a Forest. Perfect. So we're going to bring it up to a 2-2. And then we're also going to throw down the Jolene. We're not going to swing anything with this turn. We're just going to try and wait for him to make a decision. And if not, we're just going to keep chopping away. The Cypher Almasi will be also really nice. Okay, he plays another Denitha. We're going to Lightning. Actually, Scorching Dragonfire. There it goes. Okay, and then we're also going to play the Cypher, or Cypher, however you pronounce it. We're going to swing in alone with the Llanowar Elves. It's going to get double strike. Let's see if he'll block it. If not, it's fine. He'll only go down to 17, so it's not like he's going to be taking much anyways. Perfect. Alright, plays a Plains into hopefully something good. Alright, and Maul of the Skyclaves. Oh, that card is so fun. Alright, so he gets a 3-3 flyer with First Strike, Death Touch, and Lifelink. But lucky for us, we do have removal for it. So we're going to Lightning Strike that Vampire. And we're going to be coming in with quite a bit of damage here. So we're going to keep the Shock just in case for later. Swinging with everything. Go to damage. Hit him for quite a bit. Bringing him down to 6 life. And we'll do this one. And we're going to cast it without paying its mana cost. Bringing him down to 3 life. AKA, if we get another Shock, we're in the good here. It's looking pretty good for us, but anything can happen in Magic the Gathering, and that's the funnest part about it. Okay, so he gets an Orzhov Enforcer. That's fine. Does have Afterlife. Okay, the Nighthawk Scavenger. That's not going to be anything of a problem, and he decides to concede. So that's perfect. We just completely got rid of our losing streak, so we're on a win streak of 1 here. It's looking good for us. That game went a lot better than the first one. Let's move on to game 3. All right, game 3. Our hand is looking pretty good here, so we're going to keep that. We have some nice removal, a great curve. We have some mana ramp. Temple of Enlightenment is a little scary in case he is running auras, but he also is running the default sleeves that you get, so Nothing to fret about yet. Let's see what he plays. A Drowned Catacomb. Okay, well, that kind of switches things up a little bit, but I guess we're just going to go full aggro here. We're going to play the Web Strike Elite. And we're just going to try and hit him for as much damage as possible as early on, just to kind of stack things up. So we played the Dragon Sniper and the Web Strike Elite. So in case he does have any flyers, we can block them. Ashiok. Alright. That's not super fun. He's probably going to minus it. Yep. Mills 4. Graveyard goes away. So he's probably running rogues, I would have to assume, or some sort of mill. We're going to play the Mountain here. We're going to play the Elysian Caryatid as well. And we're going to swing in, killing the Ashiok, and then one at his face. Yep, that's fine. So bring him down to 19 total. And we're just going to pass the turn after that. Let's see what our opponent does. Ends up playing an island. That's fine. Okay, well, that's kind of scary. Not really. Goodbye. Look at that. 1-drop removal in red. So nice. We're going to play the Rampaging Ballast here. So we do have pretty much our win con of the deck right now. And we do have another land to activate it next turn and just get that thing rolling. Get them ballasts out there. Alright. Ashiok Dream Render. Yep, another one. Whatever. We have a ton of advantage right now, and it's going to hurt for him a lot next turn. Mills us 4. Exiles our graveyard. Yeah, do your thing. Dragon Fodder. Nice. Some extra swarm. So we're going to play the Mountain here. Rampaging Ballast makes a 4/4. We're going to play the Dragon Fodder here as well. Yep, we're going to swing in with everything to his face. He's going to go down to a total of 3 life. We're in the good. We're in the clear. Let's hope we get like a lightning strike or something and just put him out of his misery. So we don't want to really be dealing with it, or he can just do it himself. So we're on a 2-game win streak right now. We're living it. We're going up to 4 out of the 6 for Bronze Tier 4 to get into Bronze Tier 3. We're rolling. So let's keep this up. On to Game 4. Game 4. Oh, man. This hand is looking fun. We can do some fun stuff with this hand. He plays a Mountain into a Skirk Prospector. Goblins it is. Well, we got some goblins for you to deal with too, buddy. Alright, we're going to be playing a Mountain, and we're just going to pass the turn. Let's see what our opponent does. Hopefully nothing. I mean, he can sack her for 1 and shock us or something like that, I guess. Let's see what he ends up doing. Probably not. He probably just forgot. And hey, if he ends up conceding because of a time limit, we'll take it too. That's 3 games we won, and we can make a wild card and get something pretty good. We can also like save our wild cards for the future. So like if we need something in the future, we can make it later. If we got like a 3-game win streak, we can just essentially put it in the bank for later. So let's see what he does. Plays a forest. Okay, so also aggro, it seems, because that's what Gruul loves doing best. Smash, smash, stompy, stompy, and then swarm. Alright, Goblin and Archomancer. Yeah, that's a really good card. I wish we had one of those because we could make all of our stuff cost so cheap. Alright, so we go down to 19 life. Let's see what he ends up... Okay, nothing. We did not get anything there. We're going to swarm a little bit. Actually, I should have played the Caryatid. So I could have played both the Dragon Fodder and then the Burn Bright on 2 turns later. But it's fine. We'll just roll with it. It would have just netted us another creature. Alright, another Anarchomancer. That's looking a little scary. I'm assuming he doesn't swing with the 1/1. Okay, plays the Matron, basically for free. Muxus probably, or Kranko. Either one is not going to be fun for us to deal with. Alright, a Goblin Warchief. That's okay with us. So he's just making them cost cheaper. I'm assuming he's going to play like a Muxus or something like that. Yeah, swings in with the 2/2. No? Does not swing in with the 2/2. Okay, we drew a Lightning Strike, but I think we're just going to try and go full aggro here. So we're going to play the other Dragon Fodder. So we have 4 1/1s. We're not swinging in here. The Warchief is going to be a bit of a problem though, and I'm assuming he's going to be playing it this turn so we can hopefully get like a free Muxus or something like that. That is if he does have the Muxus in his hand. But I'm assuming if he searched the War Chief off of Matron, especially with the advantage that he has to have like a Muxus or a Granko, or at least something big that'll give him an advantage. Or maybe he doesn't even play them, which would be kind of a shame running goblins. But let's see what he does. It'll be interesting either way. Looking at the Matron, that's fine. We don't really care. We have an Angry Chandra, a plant, and Graffiti Lightning Bolt. Goblin Trap Finder. Nice. Okay. That's not going to be doing anything. Let's see what he does. Another Matron. Okay. So he gets another free card. Matron lets him get whatever he wants. Any goblin. It's not like a Mod Catcher, thankfully, which just puts any goblin from the deck into play. Alright, another War Chief. Mod Catcher is such a fun card. If that card was on here, goblins would be still relevant in Historic. Mod Catcher is such a powerful card too. Alright. Okay, that's actually really good. Now we could do a Burn Bright, swing in with everything, but also leave ourselves wide open. Or we can do an Ashroot Animus this turn, and then next turn swing in for a ton of damage. We're not swinging in. We're hoping he doesn't have something that'll one-shot, like end the festivities, because that would hurt a lot, but it would also mess him up as well. But we're going to be swinging with a ton of damage here if he does not do anything. Alright, Instigator. Yeah, there's some more Swarm. Sadly, Burn Bright does not give Trample. But there's still going to be 3 1s, and one of them is going to be a 9-1. Alright, another Matron. Let's see what he ends up getting. Is he just going to go for another War Chief? That would be pretty funny. Alright, Grumgully. Yeah, that's fine. He can't play it. Oh, he could if he sacks it off of the Skirk. But we'll just strike it next turn if he does anyways. I doubt he will. He might sack the Matron, actually. Like the Matrons and the Instigator. To the Prospector so we can get it. Okay, so he ends up going with War Chief. That's fine. They just cost 1 less to cast now. So his Grumgully still costs just a red and a green. So as long as he sacks 1, he does. Okay, Matron, yeah, he does. That's fine. He gets the 3/3. No cards in hand. Good for us. That means he doesn't have anything that he can do, really. He's not swinging in either. Perfect. So we're going to play the Mountain here. We're going to play the Lightning Strike. Snipe the Grumgully. Have fun in the graveyard. Play the Burn Bright. Now, we might end up taking a lot here if he decides to take it all to his face, but I doubt he will, because this is a lot of damage coming in, especially with the Ashroot. So that's going to be a 9-1, and then 3 3-1s and a 6-4 with Trample. So we're at least getting in some damage here unless he double blocks the Animist, which that would also hurt us. But that's going to leave him with essentially nothing if he decides to block everything else too. And it also gains Trample, so it's a 9-1 with Trample, so that is getting in for sure. We're at least getting in 1 damage of some sort. Potentially. Yeah, it's going to be a big goblin. Yours aren't very big. I'm not even running goblins. That was not the goal. It was just to get as much damage in as possible. But goblins are kind of good at doing that. Strength in numbers, I guess. And then when you got, what is this, like a lizard shaman or something like that? Lizard druid? Yeah, when you got a lizard on your side with your goblins, usually game over for your opponents. Come on, just let it go through. It'll only be lethal. Did someone log out? I'll take it if you do, because that means 3 games win. We can start working our way up to what we need, and he does. Lets it all go through. That's another win in the books. Game 4 was a wrap. We got a 3-game win streak right now. We get at least 1 wild card. That's really good. And we're up another rank. On to bronze tier 3. We're going to go into the final game 5. All right, we're on the final game 5. We started off a little rocky. We ended up winning 3 in a row. Let's see if we can end this with a bang. We've got a mulligan that. Invasion of Urgamon. I think we're going to keep everything but the Dragonfire. Let's see what we can do. Let's keep this win streak alive. Play a mountain. Nonetheless, I'm happy, really happy with how it's gone, especially since we didn't experience any negatives. But there definitely is going to be some negatives from losing in the future. I can almost guarantee it. But he does play a... Oh, yeah, hikes. That's not fun. We are not letting that exist. That's really mean. Especially against our poor deck. Invasion of Urgamon. We get a treasure. And we can discard a card to draw a card, which we are definitely going to be doing here. Discard a forest. We're going to draw a forest. Well, just some deck thinning, I guess. Essentially milled a card. Screaming Nemesis comes out. That's fine. It does have haste. Alright, that kind of hurts a little bit. Nothing we can't handle, though. It isn't looking great for us, but whatever. We can just keep rolling. So we're going to be doing Dragon Fodder, Expedite on one of the goblins. Okay, we do draw a ruby. Going in. Swinging at the invasion because we want that 3/4 trample. Yeah, even if we do get absolutely destroyed here because it looks like he's also running Gruul aggro, but the best way to build. Oh, hi, Mr. Beast. I don't like that one. It's like 3 Jimmies. That's... Yeah, no. Nope. And there goes our other advantage. I don't think we're going to be making it out of this one. If we ended with 1 game lost, I'm alright. We got 3 games in a row. We have our little Red Riding Hood. Feldon. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be taking a ton here. Yeah, I guess we'll block the 3/3. Go down to 7. He's going to snipe us for another 1. We have no more life gain. Not like we had any in the first place. Go tree go. Go tree go. Yeah, we were... When I saw the Shocklands, I knew we were pretty much done. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so we have to block the fear of being haunted here. We're ended up taking lethal. That's alright. I'll take 3 games in a row. Let's open our remaining packs and we can buy some more. Let's just go on to that and see if we can just kind of end it off good. Get some luck from the packs that we earned. Alright, so we're in the pack section. I think the best packs to get for the strategy that we're going in the future is going to be Duskmourn. Because if we're going to be running Boros Auras, there's a ton of staples that comes in these packs. I mean, we have Ethereal Armor. We also won one from winning. We got through the Omenpaths pack. It's fine. This is really nothing here. So we have a remarkable readings. Cool. That's not our importance. So we need this. We need either an Ethereal Armor or Sheltered by Ghosts. So we don't get that. Try again. Anything? Okay, a Shard Mage's Rescue is also what we needed, so that's good. That's a good start. And a Chainsaw. Alright, so since we did win 3 games in a row, we do get to craft a wild card. So I'm just going to go into this. It doesn't really matter. Actually, hold on. I'm going to go into the From Mirror to Battlesphere deck. We're going to change the deck layout. We're just going to make it to where it can include white. And so here's going to be the most difficult cards to get. And it's going to be the Core Spirit Dancer if it decides to look up. The reason being is it's out of Jumpstart. And the only way to get Jumpstart products is through like the Jumpstart sets and the Jump In sets. And those are kind of difficult just to guarantee that you get the Spirit Dancers. But they do exist in real life. And it's going to be an essential key to the deck that we're going to be building in the future. So we're going to be grabbing a Spirit Dancer here off of our wild card because we won 3 in a row. So we got one. We're looking good. The deck's going to change up next episode, definitely, because we did get some different cards here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. It's going to help this channel grow up quite a bit. We're so close to 1,000, and I thank you guys for all the support that you've been. It's so fun having this back, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with this.